your boy Omega. This is Diverse Clarity. This is where we have those thought-provoking conversations about things that matter and some that don't. And of course, I'm here with my man, Mr. John D.
What up, though? What's happening?
What's good, fam?
And living life and enjoying the blessings that have entered my life recently.
Speak on it. Let's go. Let's get started right in. What kind of blessings? What blessings have been bestowed upon thee?
Being introduced to people that understands a specific goal and can compliment you and get you there. And yes, I'm talking about you, face.
For real?
Yeah, man. I appreciate it, man. I think about it and I feel really good about the opportunity that you've given me, and I'm telling you, I'm like hitting the ground running to make this everything that you want it to look like.
Man, this is something where we both found each other and we knew what it is we wanted to get done, and we knew about it in different ways, bro. So the compliments don't rest on me. It's on the effort that we're putting forward. But I appreciate you.
No doubt.
For real. So, but hey, this is another episode, and we pushing them out. We pushing forward, man. It feel good.
It does.
It's like the Miancore factory up in this mug.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
It
so
is.
I think we've put out
quality content also.
I'd like to think so.
Yes.
I'd like to think so. I think we were episode 7, and now this is
8.
number 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. So we
in a short period of time too.
Yes, sir.
I think the chemistry is getting better.
Facts.
And it's a joy.
Let us know. Those of y'all out there watching, those of y'all out there listening, let us know what you think and how you feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, get on these episodes, do the comments, and talk to us. And we're gonna make sure that we come live to y'all in various ways. Like I said in the very, very first episode, we got a lot under our sleeves. So a lot of things are gonna be coming your way. I will announce one that's on the verge. We will have diverseclarity.com, and it's going to be quite a few features in there, whatever, where you guys can connect with us and also get right in line with the podcast and the videos, and might even have like some exclusive material on there. So we'll see. But it is coming soon, diverseclarity.com. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. But I guess we go ahead and get to the show.
Let's make it
happen. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't even know what to... This is one of those ones where we just kind of like sat and was like, oh well, let's just sit and talk and see what come up.
Let's make it.
You know what I mean? So I know one thing. I was watching one of my favorite movies, Crash. I don't know if you ever seen it.
Don Cheadle,
Sandra Bullock, Danny Newton, the dude that was married to the one girl with the big forehead. I can't know. Legally Blonde. What is her name? The blonde girl.
I know what you're talking about.
But her ex-husband, he was also in the movie where he was like getting with his sister. Bruh. This dude, man, in Crash, he's the cop, the blonde cop.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yo, spoiler alert if we're going to talk about this. So just don't be mad that you didn't see this movie from 2009
a long time ago
or whatever it was. So, but yeah, man. But yeah, the brother, the cop who shot, oh man, hang on a minute. So we got Don Cheadle. Then we got
Terrence Howard.
No, not Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard's also in it. But yeah, Terrence is married to Danny Newton.
Yeah.
And then we got my man. What is it? He looked young forever. Love Jones.
Bruh,
I'm telling you, this brother has found the fountain of youth.
You talking about the guy that played in Power? As the
yes.
Why don't I know his name? He has a brother that's in.
He's got a brother.
Too.
He's got a brother. Exactly.
Why don't we know his name? That's embarrassing because I like him.
Why don't we? Love Jones. It was with Nia Long. Oh my God, bruh. I'm feeling.
O-Dog. We're gonna just call him O-Dog.
Wow, nah, bro. We got to know his name.
No,
fam.
do you know that's how he got famous?
Was that Menace?
Menace to Society.
Yeah,
O-Dog.
Yeah, but what is, bro? Why we can't think of his name?
I'm Luke. I don't know.
It's like I can see it. I feel bad. I really hope he don't watch this episode. Just know we a fan. You know what I mean? But or supporter at least of the movies.
I'm so disappointed in this.
Bruh, like I'm mad. Like now I want to go. I bet people are watching it like, you got the laptop sitting right in front of you. Why don't you just look it up? I am. Like, God. Hey, bro, what? Oh, Wait, I had it. I can't. People gonna laugh at us, bro. People gonna laugh at us, but we about to get it. We about to get it. Love Jones. I can't think of his name at all. Why is it not even showing up like in the early? Bruh, why? Why is it not come? How come we can't remember it? Lorenz Tate. I didn't see it. It's not on the screen. I remembered it. 10 minutes later, but I still remembered it. Lorenz Tate. And I don't know his brother's name. But all right, so we got Ludacris, Lorenz Tate, Sandra Bullock, Terrence Howard, Thandie Newton, Matt Dillon.
Yeah.
Matt Dillon. Oh, the sister that sing all the time and always play her, but she was the mother in the sitcom with the comedian, the brother that came out of nowhere. He got a sitcom. He's kind of like what is her name? I'm just tell you how impressed I am with you being able to remember so many names, bruh. Like, but this movie, I'm telling you, like, I know it don't sound like it because I can't remember all the names, but for me,
that was impressive.
I'm bad with names and I'm bad with numbers.
If you're bad at names, what am I?
Bruh, I can meet you and we shake hands or give dap or whatever the case, and then you walk away and I'm like,
oh, so you know what I do with that?
Like, yo.
Say it 3 times in your head and then repeat it and say, it's a pleasure to meet you, such and such. And you probably won't forget, at least for a couple weeks.
If I meet you first time like that,
but you famous like though, you famous, so it's a lot more. It's more difficult for you to remember. Whoa. Think about it.
Whoa,
as many people as you meet, it's very difficult for you to retain all of that information.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is an example of the bar being set too high. Like, are you serious?
I'm saying, like, if you interact with that many people, they have to make some sort of impact for you to consider remembering because you only have so much information.
But I've watched Crash I don't know how many times.
And you know everybody in there.
No, I don't. I'm still forgetting.
Well, apparently they made an impact on you. Who was with?
Oh, look, because Ludacris was with Lorenz Tate. Sandra Bullock was married to the one dude that was in that movie from back in the day where his woman was from, like, she was like an alien or something. I don't know his name.
Are you trying to show how many names you don't remember after you just named the entire cast?
I'm trying to prove my weakness. Well, this is how weak I am.
I tell you this, anybody that's listening is gonna be like, wow, he remembered a lot of names.
Okay, let's do it. Let's get it. Because this movie, bro. Like, if you have not watched the movie Crash, I'm telling you, you have to. Like, it is one of the the Latino, the brother that played in what was it, Night Watch or something like that.
Night Watch is when they chased
not Night Watch. Last Watch, I think it was called.
The superhero type?
No, it was a cop movie. And it was like Last Watch, like their shift they were talking about. And I think like his partner got shot, or he was the one that got shot. I haven't seen that. I've only seen that once. But he's in a lot of movies, like kind of playing that, like, he's going to be the next role. He's going to be the next one to like get it's like, oh, one more movie and you're going to be in that top category, top spot. Gotcha. So I can't, maybe, you know what? Somebody else probably like, why don't you just pull it up? Why don't you just pull up? You looked up Love Jones. Why don't you just pull up Crash on the thing? And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull up Crash. But it's from 2004.
That's a long time ago.
That is a long time ago.
I was a little kid.
It is. And it's not like I watched it and then like went down the credits or whatever. Wow, Tony Danza was in it too. Wow. Who's
the boss?
Yeah.
I don't remember him.
What role? I don't even remember what role he played.
I don't know.
Tony Danza. He was.
Don't give me the line.
Who was he in the movie, man? But anyway, the movie is amazing, bro. Like, we got Crash, and we talking about, those of you who have not seen it, this is talking about how life works. You know what I'm saying? How you can meet someone or interact with someone, or actually, forget that. It's how COVID spreads. Man. That's what it is. It's how COVID spreads.
To all groups of people.
There we go. Let's put it in 2020, 2021 terms. It's how COVID spreads. Man. Right? That's what it is. We talking about, how I put this. We got an interaction between two people, but I don't know who your wife is, but an interaction that I had was happened to be with your wife, but you're not aware of that, and she's not aware that I know you, and then we've got a whole nother thing over there, but then she had an issue with somebody, and that's somebody that I also know, you know what I mean? Who, because she's friends with my daughter or something. And it's just the way that it's just like intertwined, bro. But like the things that they touch on, like is key for me. So it's like when you're talking about the racism part, right? Yeah. If you remember it was the Persian family. And remember the Latino that I'm talking about, he was the one that was the locksmith in the movie.
Oh, I know who he is. I know who you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Right. So he was the one that was the locksmith in the movie. And his story was like one of my favorites. Like him and this little girl. I remember how he came home and she was afraid because they moved out of the neighborhood where it was gunshots. And then she was under the bed because she was used to sleeping under the bed because of the gunshots.
And she's like, oh yeah.
And remember he had the little cloak. And it was the imaginary cloak, and he's like, I'm going to tie it around you. And then when it comes to the scene where he goes to work and he changes the lock for the Persian family, and then even though he was telling the guy something's wrong with the lock, you need to have this piece replaced, and the guy thought he was trying to cheat him out of money, and then the dude's place gets broken into,
and they blamed it on,
and he went and he got the gun. The daughter went to go buy guns, but the guns that she bought, she put blanks in it, and he was mad and thought that the dude was the one that gave the key to his friends and came in and messed up the place. So he went to his house to go and kill him. And then when the little girl saw that daddy was home, and then he saw that daddy was home, he approached the dad in the yard, and the little girl sees daddy and she runs out and she's like, Daddy, I gotta protect him because he needs the cloak. And she jumps into his arms and the dude fires the gun, and it was blanks.
Yeah.
But for a minute he thought he was,
yes.
Bruh, if you have not seen the movie Crash, please go and watch it.
That will change your life.
Yo.
You know what? I want to. I'm gonna.
One story.
I think I'm gonna watch it today because you brought back so many memories that I just totally forgot. And then But see, the thing is, why I want to watch it, because I was in a different place when I saw it.
Right.
And where I am, I can appreciate it a lot more than I did, and I love the movie.
I love it.
Golly.
And then it's like the stuff that we talk about all the time that I'm so sick of when we talk about Sandra Bullock and her husband, and it's kind of funny, but not really because it's related to us indirectly, directly, whatever. But she's walking down the street with him after like this big event. He's like running for office or something like that, and she sees two black guys on the street.
Yeah, okay, I now hear.
Right, and then it's like she wants to cross the street. She clutches her purse a little bit tighter, and he's like, "What?" And she's like, "Oh, those guys. They look like whatever." And then Ludacris and Lorenz Tate still end up being
those guys.
And it's just like, man.
But you know what's so crazy? I was just thinking about when you were saying that, I'm like, they only did it to fulfill the stereotype. Like they saw them acting like that, and they was like, you know what? Let's make an example out of them now.
Still dumb.
Oh yeah, I mean, for sure. But see, that's a different level of freedom too. Like when you can make a decision, even if it's bad or good, you like, you know what, since they're going to treat us like that, let's go on and let's show them that's what it's like. Like, that's a different level of freedom.
I mean,
I didn't say it was good.
Freedom or stupidity. I'm sorry. For me, I don't know if I get into an elevator, and which has happened quite a few times, and I see somebody scoot closer to the corner or hold on to their bag a little more, there's nothing really in my head that clicks and says, let me show you what I can really do.
Well, you know what you should do? See if you can get away from this.
Hey, look, let me tell you something.
Get away from that.
Look, and hit the stop button.
Can you get away from that?
Look,
excuse me.
Look, no, that reminded me of like one of my most embarrassing moments or whatever, just because it was an older lady, right? I got in the elevator. I was the only one in there, right? I got in the elevator, and the person that was going out the elevator, they had farted. I'm just saying, they had farted. So I get in the elevator, I'm like, I got like 16 floors to go, right? And I'm just standing there like, well, after 2 floors, it stops. And this old lady comes in, and she's in the elevator, and she says hi. She's like, hi, ma'am, how are you? And I'm standing there like, this thing. And I saw, and she was short. You know, like most old women are short. It was an older white lady. She was so sweet. But it's older white. And she's standing there. She's standing next to me. And she's short. And, you know, I can see out the corner of my eye. And I see it. She look up at me like, just this I'm sorry for those of y'all that are listening and can't see my face, but she looked up at me like, it was like, you know how like you smell something and then you gotta figure it out, and then once you figure it out, like your face go through the process, and it's almost like a like, she looked at me like, what did you eat? Like what is this? And I don't want to say nothing because I'm like, all I want to say is it wasn't me. That's all I want to say. And I was just like, whatever. And then ding, I'm out. But bruh, that's hilarious. That's like, get away from this. Like, yo, boo. Like, yo, man. But
if we could have found, if Ludacris and Lorenz Tate could have found like a fart that could have touched those people, that was the only fart that they could use. Yeah. What do you think would have been a better fart for them to be able to pass the message?
Actually, there's another piece of there's nothing they could have done. She was already, it took.
No, I'm saying for her to learn a lesson outside of fulfilling a stereotype.
That's what I was going to say. Her lesson came later.
Oh, yeah.
I love Sandra Bullock, by the way, but her lesson came later. And her lesson was, she was like that with all people that were black and brown. Even her maid or housekeeper. I'm not sure if there's a politically correct term, but the person that you pay to take care of your home and possibly your children, whatever they call it.
Maid and housekeeper bad?
I don't know, but nowadays everything is. Hell, kneecap might be not politically correct. They might, I don't know. They might be, you got to call it a patella. I don't know. So I'm not sure. But whoever it is that was cleaning her, because she was a Latina, right? And so, but she was going against everybody. She went against her, right?
Oh yeah.
And it took Sandra Bullock busting her butt on the stairs, because I think she like rolled her ankle or something like that. And the one person that she called, like the story of Crash, like, and all the little intricate details is what really get me, because it's like, then it goes into, she's got this one person. Like, imagine, right? Like, you my only friend. Right? Not true. Example. You know what I'm saying? But you my only friend, right? And then everybody else around me is black and brown, and I treat them like shit, right? But when all fails and I'm in a position where it's like, I need to talk to my friend, you look at me like I'm shit because I treat everybody else that way. So when I hit you up like, yo, John, and you're like, yeah, I'm busy giving my squirrel a pedicure.
Watching
or
paint
whatever.
dry.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like whatever. Like, and that's what happened with Sandra Bullock. So the one person that she was calling, like, she was like kind of ignoring or whatever the case. So it's just the lessons that were being taught and the lessons that were being learned in that. But by far, my man, I don't know his name, but the brother with the daughter and the angelic cloak, that was like that story for me was, and then Don Cheadle's whole thing with his mother, man. And I think she has dementia. Yes. I don't know. Is that right? She has them. Y'all go watch this movie, man. I mean, they're definitely not a sponsor. The movie is old, but it's like, yo, please go watch this movie, because it's it touches on it touches on a few things that do lean into like some of the issues like in America as well as Black America, like the stereotypes and things like that. But with that, like, one of the things when you talk about like police violence, right? This is definitely an issue in that area. So it was the white dude that shot Lorenz Tate. So it was Lorenz Tate was, you remember, Lorenz Tate was looking for a ride. Right?
Oh yeah,
he was looking for a ride.
The little thing was shaking.
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
He was looking for a ride.
I haven't seen him in it, so I'm getting it.
And so it's kind of like one of those, you know, the cop for whatever, he stops and picks him. He's a good dude, so it seems, right? The cop, right? But the cop stops to pick him up. Is that tongue twisting? The cop stops. Say that 3 times, right? So, but the cop stops to pick him up, and then he still has this presumed prejudice about him because he's a black man or whatever, and I guess being out on the street. And so Lorenz Tate gets in the car, and you know the dude's driving. I think he starts small talk with him, and he sees the little Jesus piece or the little bobblehead, whatever, the angel, something.
I thought it was like a hula hoop girl.
Was it?
Like a yeah, what?
I
thought
you're
it was.
Right.
It was like,
you're right. And he starts laughing.
And
the
like,
dude is like, "What are you laughing at?" And he's like, Nothing.
Yeah.
And he was like, No, I want to know what you laughing at, what you think is funny, and this and that. I really didn't catch this whole playing hard part but whatever. And so, and then Lorenz say, fine. You want to know what I'm laughing at? You want to know what I'm laughing at? And he reaches in to pull out, because he has the exact same. Which one is it? I don't know. You the teacher. Yeah. Either one is fine.
It both works for me.
But he has the same exact piece, and he takes it out and puts it on the thing. But I guess the dude assumes he has a gun.
Yeah.
And then shoots him. And then we got Don Cheadle, who later finds or responds to a murder on the side of the road, and then finds that it's his brother. But then it leans into the family, because the mother has dementia, but she thinks that Lorenz Tate is the good son, right? And then Don Cheadle is the one that's really been taking care of her. She thinks that Lorenz Tate is the one bringing the, and so when he doesn't come home and she has to go identify the body, she blames Don. Bro, this movie is deep, bro.
It is. I'm telling you, I'm gonna watch it today.
I love Crash. Like, it's just one of them things. But like I said, like, so like when we talk about like the issues in, you know, America, especially Black America, we talking about the police violence, and I don't know. Like, what do you think though? Like, what do you think are some of the biggest issues that affect us in America?
I honestly, it's so many different things. If I were to put my hands on it, just the way that we're treated, whether it's from healthcare, education, let's just look as simple as
go with that. Go expound on that. So healthcare, what would we?
Well, so let's, like, today, my wife and I were discussing how in counties in Michigan where the vaccine is provided for poor families, but majority of the vaccines are being taken by affluent families, and the majority. They are coming into these neighborhoods
from outside.
But see, I told her, is it that they're taking advantage of it, or are people of color not participating in it? Because you know how we feel about taking anything. We feel like they're doing something to us, and we're an experiment.
Right.
So I couldn't figure that out. But even healthcare disparities where, you know, I grew up, you know, I didn't go to the hospital, you know, unless I was dying. Like, hospital was nothing. And I had to learn that from my father. But I've met different Black people that go to the hospital for a head cold. And I'm like, man, they so weak. But it just depends on how you grew up.
Right.
You know, so I think majority of how can I say, I don't want to say poor, but uneducated people of color have this fear of actually taking advantage of healthcare, and most of us don't even have it. If you look at the numbers, you got to have a nice job.
But okay, so for those who are listening, right, like, clarify what you mean by uneducated.
Just lack of exposure. You know,
so not necessarily schooling.
Correct.
And whatnot. Okay,
yeah, narrow-minded narrow-minded generally comes from the lack of exposure. So when I say narrow-minded, I'm not attacking anyone.
Right.
And you're only good as the circle around you. And if everybody thinks the same, then you only think that way.
Facts. And then especially, and that bleeds into ignorance too.
Definitely.
And a lot of people look at the word ignorant as a bad word.
Correct.
It does sound bad.
It's because the way it's been used for so long, it looks like you're stupid.
Agreed. Well, I mean, that's with anything, right? Because let's be real, the word gay originally meant happy as far as I knew, but we see how that has turned around.
Well,
and
I still think it means happy, because most of the gay people I know are super happy.
Right, but I'm not saying that in a sense of like, it doesn't mean that. We're talking about the way that words change.
Correct.
As Black people, we are very familiar with the way the words change and how words can be used.
Well, we normally change them.
Well, we didn't change this one though. I don't think that was.
I remember growing up and saying, "Man, that's gay."
Yeah,
and it didn't mean homosexual.
I never thought like that.
You always thought it meant homosexual?
No. I'm saying I never thought about it meaning homosexual. But then you get into this whole, I mean, we'll go down a rabbit hole with this, bro. But then it goes into this whole like, well, is it? I don't even know how to, bro. That whole world is so confusing to me sometimes. But if I say something is gay, I'm thinking, oh, but that's like it's feminine. Or it's like it's like what a girl would do. Like, what I'm saying, what we meant when we were younger, right? It's like,
yeah, it was something that was outside of our norm, like as far as feminine,
right?
Like, but a woman would do it,
right? Well, like if we're standing together, 3-4 guys, and one guy that's not with the group walks up and touches one of us on the butt and keeps walking. Back then, a lot of us would have probably been like, yo, that's gay.
Oh, no, it is gay.
Right. But
well, so check that out. Let me clarify. So,
okay, yeah.
If a man touches another man's butt and you don't know him, like to play, that's gay.
Right. Okay. But that's not the route that I'm. Okay. Okay. So if that happens, right, and then if let's say I turned around and I said, "Oh, that's gay," then you've got another herd of people in 2020, 2021 are like, "What's wrong with gay?" And it's
yeah, they taking it in the wrong context of it. Like
it's not what I'm.
It's a lack of use of words.
No, I think it's some sensitivity,
without a doubt,
with it. I think it's some sensitivity, and I think in today's society, in today's world, everybody is looking for something to be mad about. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we saw this in our own community, in the black and brown community, and even amongst ourselves. And some of the bolder white people would say, "Oh, he's playing the race card." Like, well, it's only because this is the way that I've seen the game being played for, I don't know, my entire existence. So excuse me if that is a thought that comes to my mind when this is what I'm seeing on the day-to-day basis, and this is how I'm seeing our people being treated. I'm not saying that's the first thought that comes to mind, but why would it not be one of the thoughts? You know what I'm saying? So if you're not a part of the solution, you're a part of the problem.
You know, like what you said, if white people had really real black friends, they would understand more. Like when white people say, I got black friends, like they don't have black friends that tell them the truth. They just have people that they hang out with that are black.
Do they?
No, I mean,
because I know some people who have said, I've got black friends, and they're only talking about Tyrone and Corey and Marcus that work at their building.
But even if
probably
they do,
not even on the same floor.
The interaction still doesn't allow them to understand our struggle.
Agreed. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
So like when somebody say I have a black friend, like, does he tell you how it is? Is he, because I thought about it. I've had white friends and I still didn't have those conversations with them. Like I didn't like, there was a long time where I just thought they knew, or everybody grew up that way. And then as you get older, you like, damn, they really don't understand. Like there's a white man that I work with, and he's married to an Ethiopian woman.
Okay.
And he says, John, I want to know, how can I better prepare myself? Because my daughter, she's black, and I don't really know how to educate her in a way for her to understand. What do I do? He's asking me because I have a daughter and he's white. So his perception is completely different from mine. Right. And we had a conversation where I was brutally raw, and most white people can't take that. And the only reason why he took it is because he has a black daughter. Right. So he has to look at it in a different way. So just imagine if you don't have anybody black in your family, that's too much information that you don't care about. You're like, why are you telling me about that? So that's the way I look at it.
I mean, yeah, I'm with it. We talked about this in the other episode too, and it's like it has to come with a willing to understand. And it sounds like this brother,
he's forced to understand because of his daughter. So exactly. How many white people aren't forced him, like, man, here we go again.
But some people might not be forced. See what I'm saying? He's at least like more than halfway through the battle. He's at least recognizing.
Because he has a daughter.
Right.
What if he didn't?
But this is what I'm saying. Some people feel like it doesn't matter. Some people are oblivious to it. Like, I remember seeing a movie. I forget the name of it, but I remember seeing a movie, and it was a white family that had adopted a black child, right? And what they thought was, we're just gonna show this child all the love that we can show, introduce them to our way of life, and teach them right from wrong. And I mean, they had great intentions, but they had what movie was it? But they had a black family friend, and that person was telling them, like, listen, it's important that you don't disconnect this child from her culture. She might not know mother and father, but she got a lot of brothers and sisters out there that can help to educate her.
What movie was that?
I have to find it, bro.
Man.
I have to find it. Or maybe I just need to write one on that line. Maybe if I can't write my own joint. But yeah, I will definitely, I'll have to look for that.
No doubt.
But yeah, but I think it's important. Like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, so you say he was forced, but not all white people, or not all people of the race of the child that they have adopted or given birth to due to a mixed family, think that way. They just think like it could have been with you. It could have been like, it's all going to be Korean. It could have been that way. And like this. And then you go outside to play one day because y'all moved to a new neighborhood and there's some black kids around and you have no idea how to interact.
I know. You
have no idea what the culture is like. You have no idea. But your family may think they did well.
I need you to understand this. Like that's a great piece too, because that I developed so many masks to wear. Like I didn't grow up black. I didn't grow up Korean. I grew up in adapting. So when I did go outside, I'm all around black kids, and the white kids is very few, but they talked reckless. And you hear this from adults, and then you think about like, what do you do? So when being put in that position, only reason why people think that I'm really black, because I know the experiences of it, and I can create a picture that shows that I've had soul food, but don't nobody know that I didn't have it in my house.
Right.
I'm like, I know what soul food is, and I can act like I'm a part of that particular environment. But yeah, I definitely understand what you mean.
Yeah. I feel you. But I think that it's, that's something we could dive into. But like, I wonder like what's being done in the communities and in the school. I think that's something that should be developed, because even though it's very common and people make the decisions to have such relationships, right? Especially like mixed relationships. Mm-hmm. Is there anything that's there to help to educate the children within the schools or in the society? I mean, and I know it's not, but like, I think that's important.
But the curriculum should be changed. It needs something to incorporate a level of sensitivity to different cultures.
Right.
And this is the problem. White America has made it seem like that we're all Americans, but they don't treat us like Americans. So the culture is different. Right. And if you don't expose other cultures, you're going to just think that this is the main culture. And if you don't fit in, that's what we do.
Right.
We try to fit in their culture. That's why we wear so many masks. Like, think about it. You graduate from high school, you go into your life or whatnot, but you can always go back home and code switch off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, the goal is to assimilate into their environment so we can be successful. They make us fit into their environment, or they make us believe that the only way of success is to assimilate in their environment.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So, and then that's what's pushed upon, because you hear people say things, a more ignorant term, but they'll say like white is right. But that's exactly what they're talking about. Like, doing it the way that they do it is the way.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, like when we look at situations where it's like, what's appropriate to wear? What's appropriate attire to wear to work? Right? In a white society, what would be appropriate, depending on the level, would be a shirt and tie. Right? Just maybe a jacket or whatever. But if you were to show up in authentic Nigerian head wrap and clothing,
you won't get that job.
They're gonna tell you to probably go home. They're gonna look at you like, oh, what is it Halloween? Or they're gonna say something stupid or ignorant, right? And it's like, why is that not respected? Why is that not looked at like? And I get it; it's a difference of the culture and whatnot. But for America to be America and to be so diverse amongst the people, brother, New York City speaks 800 languages. New York City, not the state, just the city. America is huge and extremely diverse. And so for us to be a land of immigrants, it's like, why are we not more diverse in truly understanding what other cultures are? Like, an Asian culture is way more than a nail spa. An Asian culture is way more than a Chinese restaurant. It's way more than a Chinatown. It's way more than
dry cleaning.
What are we talking about? The 7-Elevens and what you see from Indian people that are there running these things. And it's like, they pick and choose, like, you can get more than curry from understanding the Indian culture and where they come from. You can get way more from the African culture than just having them on display, beating some drums and dancing at some type of event that you're having for whatever it is you have going on. Understand the people. Understand the culture in full, because that is a part of the fabric that makes the United States of America. The United States of America is all of these different cultures there, but it's not. What happens is the white America goes in and says, this is the standard and this is what we do. And we'll take a little bit from you because we love the way you do nails. And we'll take a little bit from you because that sweet and sour chicken is freaking amazing. And we'll take a little bit from you because, oh my God, the sound of those drums and how it feels in my chest. And we're going to just add you in. But you got to do everything else to be a part of this society, or else you're not going to be a part of this society. Play along or get along. Mm-hmm. And it's freaking, it's annoying, fam. It's annoying.
So how do you change that look? Because like I told you in the last podcast, the elite white is ultimately what controls what goes on, I believe. And if they're not being affected, they're not going to change anything. So how do you change the expectations of what they say it is versus to what everybody believes it should be?
Education. But it comes in two. Education always comes in two parts. You are an educator. You are an administration in education. You have gone through the tiers of what it takes to be a part of the educational community. Fair to say, right? But you know as well as anybody that if you have all the best education in the world, but those that you are trying to educate don't have the willingness or the openness to receive that education, your program will fail.
Oh, exactly.
Period. That is what's happening in America. The program is failing because people are not open. People are not willing. People don't care to receive the education. And this is what we was talking about last time. Like this is the problem that we have. I want someone to understand where I'm coming from. And it's not that it's only about the trials and the tribulations and the turmoil. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Understand why I feel a certain way about how I feel because my father was not in my life. Understand how I feel a certain way about how I wish and hope that America would be a certain way because I've had travels in my life, because I've experienced other countries and seen other viewpoints of everybody else of how they look at us. It's almost like I'm a messenger in that sense.
Definitely.
Because I've gone out, right? For those of us that are American who, and I know we have everything in America, but those of us who are American and we just there and we stay home and we're like, oh no, I don't need a passport. I've got New York and Vegas and I can go down to Florida and out to California and I can just have a fun. Like, the world is bigger than you. The world is bigger than that.
That piece right there, the passport, is by far the most important piece of life to me because you're because I'll say this, regardless of you have so many people around you from different ethnic backgrounds, like a culture is created from those group of people. But when you leave your environment to another culture, the culture is literally from whatever that environment is. So when you have a passport, when you go travel and see other countries, if you can get out of the aspect that I'm American, because you know the American Western privilege is real. Like we really believe
so conceited.
Like how you don't know how to speak English and you in a different country. That's the craziest thing to me. But when you get past yourself, you realize how beautiful different people are. You're like, oh man,
right?
Like, how come I didn't learn how to do it that way?
Right.
Like when I took the family to Tanzania and Zanzibar.
Okay.
And we were walking.
Beautiful.
Oh man, look.
I heard. I haven't been. But
well, it's beautiful, but I want you to, like, it's poor. And when I say poor, like we were walking and we saw some kids, they had like a bandana and some change and they was dancing and making sounds and whatnot. And I put
Do it again. What were they doing? What was it doing? I don't know if you was crumping or like what?
No, but so they had just a little change, right? So I think the change that I put, it couldn't have been more than a quarter. And when I say you never felt so appreciated, the way they responded was like, thank you so much. It was like, they would say, Hapana Sante. And like, I'm like, wow. Like, and then I'm thinking like, I've seen adult homeless people get upset that you only gave them $1.
Right.
These kids, I gave them, I promise it was like.
Even our homeless are, I mean, I'm not saying this in a joke, but even our homeless are privileged.
We got the most privileged poor people in the world.
Yo, there's something on this dollar. Word?
Man, I'm telling you, like that passport, like you said, that is the education that people need. Right. But it's very difficult when you're poor. You know what I'm saying?
But what you're talking about now, the exact opposite has happened for the rest of the world, right? So what I was saying, like the whole white America and how everything is set up, and how if you're in America, you need to. How many times have you seen like white people like acting out on the news or whatever, and they say you need to learn to speak the English, you know, like this kind of thing or whatever the case is, right? And so, but when it comes to outside, right, the rest of the world is doing the exact opposite. They are trying to learn about the rest of the world. You feel me? So like they're being put in a position where, and I was just having this conversation the other day, and it was like when you go to another country, right? If you go to the movies, tell me, bro, how many times have you gone to another country and decided to go see a movie and was not able to find a movie that's from America?
Oh, I haven't seen that.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but when you go, if you see a movie from America, odds are the subtitles are in the language of the country that you're in.
Correct.
The whole world is looking at America as in trying to consume what that is and bring that into what they're. So they spend their time understanding cultures outside of their culture, and one of those being the United States of America. Mm-hmm. Whereas America is sitting back like we on some high horse, like we're better than. Correct. And it's like, wait a minute, no, you don't understand. I'm American, and where I go, you recognize that I'm American, and it's like, nah, bro, it don't work that way. We are a very small percentage.
I got a joke.
Go ahead.
So, what do you call a person that speaks 3 languages? Trilingual, right? What do you call a person that speaks 2 languages? Bilingual. What do you call a person that speaks 1 language? American.
Stupid.
No, think about it. We really believe that we don't have to learn anything else.
I ain't in that book.
No, I'm saying as far majority, like
got my Japanese.
Alhamdulillah.
My Spanish is alright.
Titiculam el Arabi?
Nah, I'm good.
Inshallah.
Next one is Portuguese.
Alhamdulillah.
So, yeah.
How do you say hello?
Hola.
Oh, it's hola?
But it's spelled different.
Okay.
It's HOLA in Spanish, and in Portuguese is OLA.
OLA?
Hola.
Hola? Hola.
Hola.
Okay. I'm going to have to learn some Portuguese.
I'm sure we'll be able to hook you up.
Inshallah. Word.
Yes, sir.
I definitely want to know more words than hola because, like I said, I love Brazil.
Yeah.
And South America. And you know what? That's when I move back, yeah. The plan is to venture in South America, like for a large period of time.
Where you want to go? Brazil first?
Maybe I want to go to Brazil when my kids get a little older because I want them to be able to appreciate that. You know, we've taken them everywhere, but I think now that they're at the age,
I want to go see the beaches, bro.
You do? I want to see the pyramids. I want to go to Buenos Aires.
Where are the pyramids at?
What was the Montezuma? The Mayans, the Mayan Empire. There's somewhere in South America.
What?
Or is that Central America? No, it's South America.
I don't know.
There's not a pyramid. I'm sure. Look that up. The Mayan Empire is from South America, ain't it?
I just don't know where. I'm asking the question. I don't know where. I'm not saying it's not. I'm not doubting you.
Well, you making me feel like I'm like, dang, this ain't common knowledge. There's definitely pyramids in South America. They like the block pyramids.
I believe you.
And they used to, like in the movies when they show in there in South America, they got the Native Americans that be spitting.
Oh, that's the Africa.
I know, but they have groups of people like that. Yeah,
I know. That's probably one of like his funniest jokes, man.
See, yeah, like
what is this? I know in Mexico, but where in? I don't know, fam. I'm sure it is. Okay,
what is that?
Yeah, right here. Hold up. It's gotta be. So these, right?
I don't know the names of it, but
pyramids in Latin America. Okay, I don't. Man, you teaching me? So we got Mexico down here, Tabasco, Mexico. Like, bruh, I don't even. Now we going. You know what I have to
Maya.
do?
So that's not Mexico at all. I know.
Yeah, your mic.
Oh yeah, that's definitely.
Nah, okay, Guatemala.
The Mayans came from Guatemala?
No, I'm just looking.
Oh.
This is one of them, bruh. Okay, well, we're gonna have to.
Aztec? Yeah, I know. Like,
well, yeah, that's Mexico.
Francisco Pizarro is from Aztec. He's Aztec, right? I don't know.
But see, all of these is showing like Mexico, Mesoamerican.
Well, maybe I'm wrong. And I know it's south of America, United States.
I think you're right. I just need to.
Well, I definitely need to get better because I'm in education.
Yeah, but if that ain't what you teaching,
absolutely right.
You got time. You got time.
I teach public math.
Hey, focus on your area of responsibility for now, bro.
For sure.
But I mean, and we'll make sure we put it down in the screen so people can see. So it's we ain't laughing at ourselves when we go back and watch it. But
well, I plan on doing that because I've never been to South America, and the goal is to touch all 7 continents with the kids.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I feel like if I can achieve certain goals with my kids, they have to find new ones. And I want them to be able to. I want to raise the bar so that they can, when they have their kids, they can start talking about the moon and different planets or something. They got to raise the bar.
Got you. So, all right. So back on when we talking about like these differences and what America needs to do and the whole educational aspect of it all, right? So like, I also think when it comes to Black Lives Matter, that there's an issue when it comes to education on that and perception.
Hey, with me,
right?
I'm an example of it.
Go ahead, tell me.
Before Black Lives Matter blew up, I was like, man, all lives matter. And this is before they started saying all lives matter. But the reason, because I didn't know Black Lives Matter meant Black Lives Matter too.
What's funny is I felt that before it came out. And when it came out, I was like, oh, finally a group to support.
That's
the
dope,
idea.
Man.
I mean, because in my mind, I'm thinking like, yo, we've been getting drugged through the mud for decades. Like I understood exactly what they were saying.
That's a wonderful awareness that you had.
And then I saw the group and it was like, oh, there's a group for that. Like, it's, you know what I'm saying? It's like seeing like a dance crew, but you only saw like people at home in your neighborhood, like, pop locking and whatnot. And then you like see a movie and you're like, oh, they have like real competitions for this? You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, they really got Black Lives Matter? Like, they got a whole group supporting this. They marching and yeah, bro. So like, but the education part of it, it was like, well, people have this misunderstanding. And I have to say, like, I feel that Black Lives Matter doesn't help themselves in some ways.
How?
And I'm not talking about like the things where I'm gonna tell you, I'm not talking about where it's like people have an idea about Black Lives Matter or whatever the case. But when we look at certain things, like, for example, defund the police. That is the worst damn slogan I've ever heard.
Why?
Because it was misused, right? So
by who?
It was misused because the people who put it out didn't consider how it could be interpreted.
Got you. Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you put out a slogan, right? Like it's if you got I don't even want to like go and give a bad joke or whatever, but like if you have something where something can be understood in more than one way, if you're involved in sales and marketing,
ambiguous, I got
right? You know what I mean? Like, that's a problem, and it's just like when people have innuendos or people turn anything you say, specifically something sexual, right? And it's like, yo, like, you going to the game? Yeah, I'm gonna get in there. You gonna get in there, ain't you? Yeah, And it's like,
or that's what she said type stuff.
Yeah, and it's like, wait, that's not. So anything that you say where it can be taken a certain way or a different way than intended, your marketing needs to consider that. And defunding the police, defunding means to defund, to take away the fun.
No, well, see,
and I just think it.
Do you understand that?
Of course, I understand what they meant, but look. I don't need to be Joe Rogan for Black Lives Matter, right? As if Black Lives Matter was Kanye West. I don't need to like edge them. This is what you really meant, right? This is what say what you mean what you say. And when you defund, you are taking funds away. Whereas the actual term that should have been used is something along the lines of reallocate funds. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that's a great slogan. It doesn't sound great. You know what I mean? But that's the intent. That's what they meant. But there is a reason why reallocate and defund are not the same word. They mean two completely different things. So when you say defund, I would have been up in arms too. If I was in the military and I saw like signs talking about defund the military, I'm like, whoa, I got a wife and kid. What you talking about? What do you mean? I need my no. Defund what?
Yeah.
Whose salary is getting cut, right? But if you're saying we need to pull our people out, we need to pull our troops out of Afghanistan or pull our troops out of Iraq and maybe reallocate those people and use them for like homeland security or to beef up our military bases at home or go to an ally, you know what I mean? And populate these areas, that's different. So I don't know how did you take it now?
Well, I took it as ignorant as I could have. I was like, this is not going to work. And then when I read on it, I learned what it meant. They just wanted to, like you said, reallocate funds to get more help in specific areas so that police would not be overwhelmed with so many different jobs because they're not qualified to do everything. Like a mental health person should not have the police coming to see them.
Right.
And apparently there's an area of mental health that is that they have a low budget for where they're not being attended to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when I look at that, it's like, when you said that, I didn't think about it. Like, they did control the narrative, like, let's get rid of police. Like, that's not what it meant. But if it's ambiguous, anybody can take something and run with it and make it worse than what it really meant.
They who, though?
The people who narrate to make it look like it's a bad thing. So media.
Right.
Specifically white media that is not in support of Black Lives Matter.
Right.
And you know what I think when I hear that? People that's not in support of Black Lives Matter, it's because they have to be ignorant and they don't want to learn because, like I said, it's embarrassing for me to say as a Black man. I was like, man, all lives matter. This was like 2012. And somebody was like, you know, it means Black Lives Matter too. I was like, who was supposed to tell? So to me, that is another situation. It was too ambiguous. You allow people to run with Black Lives Matter as far as, what do you mean? Y'all the only ones that matter? So to me, like you just said about defunding the police, they could have done a better job.
Yes.
And I felt so embarrassed. Like, golly, and I told people that too. I was like, because people look at me in a certain light. And if I don't know this information, I needed to let them know that I make mistakes and I didn't know. And I was a big advocate, like, man, y'all know all lives matter. But then when it's like Black Lives Matter too, and it just changed everything.
Right.
I said, why didn't anybody tell me this?
Stupid.
No, I'm telling you, it's embarrassing to be a Black man in education who wants to do better, and I don't even know what it really means.
Well, look, how about this then? Think about it like this. Go take it from an educational aspect, right? If you have a sport program, right, in your school, and the principal or the what do you call it in the States, over the region, like your like not director, superintendent. Thank you. Yes, superintendent. So when you have your superintendent for the school and they come in and say, hey, we're going to get rid of the football team.
So hold on, when you say, I just want to correct you. You're referring to the person over the principal,
right?
Okay, yes,
right. So coming out, yeah. So usually the superintendent's like over a region, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, so the superintendent will come in. They probably giving you the bad news. It's come from headquarters, and they're like, hey, money is being cut. You need to go and let schools A and B and C know the music program is gone. Art is gone. Those are usually the first to go, right? Because they don't bring in any money, right?
Correct.
You're always spending money to go out, right? So the music program,
language
the art
department
program, okay, cool, language department, great. What's the term that they use when they get rid of this? They have been defunded.
See what
I'm saying? So when they come with defunding the police, the thought is you're taking away the money for the police.
I didn't think about that.
Even I'm like, wait, what? Like, you can't do that. That's dumb. I don't want us to get beaten. I don't want to get beat. I don't want my son to get beat.
Yeah.
But you can't take the money away. Stop them from getting new SUVs. Stop them from getting the latest and greatest armored vehicle. Stop them from getting the latest and greatest guns and these extra bullets and these sniper rifles and going on these training expeditions into the mountains to do whatever they're doing. Stop this. But you can't take the money away because I ain't gonna lie. You try to rob me, I'm gonna be the first, bruh. Hey, I'll start using Siri. Siri, 911. But I thought you didn't use Siri. Like, bruh, Siri called 911. I'm on it. Like, yo, come on, bruh. I'm gonna be the first to call. So I want the police. I want them there. I just need them to act like they got some goddamn sense. This is what needs to happen.
It's just a lack of training.
This is the problem.
Lack of culture, lack of exposure to different people. You know, so just to talk about that a little more, the way I grew up, I like I said, I grew up Black with lack of Korean culture, lack thereof.
Right.
But I grew up around a lot of white people. And
didn't we all?
no, man. Look, check this out.
I got it. Go ahead. You grew up around a lot. I can't talk today. You grew up around a lot of white people. Please continue.
So, I fed into the culture. I felt like in order for me to be successful, I had to assimilate quickly. But I was drinking all of the sauce, so I believed that was the right way.
Right.
And seeing how I moved, I was like, this is the right way. So when you see that other people are doing it other ways, it's like you're not doing it the right way. Because I was really into the sauce and looking at my colors, like, man, brother, you all right? So when I get more information and I learn, and I'm looking at certain, that's why people like say, nah, he ain't really Black. That means that his culture doesn't reflect theirs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
It's tough, man. I'm telling you, because as a kid, you only know what you taught. So you don't know how to wake up if nobody's gonna wake you up. It's tough.
No, you're right. We're gonna dive into that, fam.
For sure.
But yo, let's call it, man. This has been another, goodness gracious, bro.
Productive day.
Bruh.
Definitely.
It's like, it's easy, man. We sitting here and we just having conversations about random whatever, and you know, sometimes we put the thoughts together, you know, but I feel like having conversations with you and putting these thoughts out there, and in some cases they're redundant, but so is life, right? So it's not that every day that we wake up we've got something new. Even if you got a job where people are like, oh, I love my job because every day it's something new. It's like, not all the time. Not all the time. There's variations, right?
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And I think that, I know that you and I are in a position where even if it's just one, that we can potentially affect people and the way of their thinking. And that one person might tell one more person.
That's all I wanted.
But here's the thing.
Water the seed.
When that one person tells one more person, that one person might tell somebody else that's going to tell 10. And they might listen. And that reach grows.
Exactly.
And then we spread like COVID.
Crash.
Yo, man, that's my man John D. I'm OMEHGA, and this is Diverse Clarity. It's where we have those thought-provoking conversations about things that matter and some that don't. See you next episode.